Hey everyone, and welcome back to Trenddash. Today we're going to be talking about the new fraud allegations against the king of Instagram, Dan Bilzerian. Make sure you stay until the end so you don't miss out on any of these new fraud claims against Dan Bilzerian. More fraud allegations have come out against Dan Bilzerian. Ignite investors have had enough and are starting to pursue legal action against the company for spending all of their money. It is kind of up in the air on what will happen next to Dan Bilzerian and his company, but all we know is that they are in big trouble based on this evidence. Dan Bilzerian grew up mainly in Tampa, Florida. He always had a rich dad in Paul Bilzerian, who is actually most likely the source of Dan's wealth. Not a lot of info is revealed about Dan's mother, but Dan's brother, Adam Bilzerian, is a known poker player. I guess that is where the poker connection came from. In November of 2011, Dan was one of those sued over debt of honor winnings that had been paid in no-contract poker games by Toby Maguire. That year, Dan Bilzerian and Alex Rodriguez fought against allegations that Alex had bet wrongfully, guaranteeing that he was available when the supposed betting function had occurred and Rodriguez was absent. On November of 2013, Bilzerian posted an unconfirmed claim that he won $10.8 million from a single night of playing poker. And in 2014, he claimed to have won $50 million throughout that year, adding that he doesn't play against professionals anymore, and the most that he's ever lost in a single session is $3.6 million. Bilzerian was featured on YouTube and Joe Rogan's podcast, explaining the run-up to his poker career. Bilzerian's Los Angeles house, for example, has a monthly rent of $200,000. The house, along with the parties, boats, and models, are all charged to Ignite International, a company that Bilzerian helped develop. According to TMZ, some of these funds included a $60,000 Star Wars gun set, a $50,000 bed frame, and a $75,000 paintball field. Besides the fact that these are the dream purchases of a 12-year-old, there is nothing fundamentally wrong with buying these items. That is, unless you paid for them with the company's credit card. According to Forbes, Ignite managed to lose a staggering $50 million in 2019. The famous poker player and young entrepreneur Dan Bilzerian could wind up observing his company, Ignite, just fail in the following 14 days. Dan Bilzerian's new pot organization may before long go up in smoke. The most recent endeavor from the hard-celebrating, self-announced ruler of Instagram, Ignite International, which sells a smorgasbord of weed-related products, burned through $50 million last year. Ignite lost $43 million on expenses related to marketing and promotion, as well as office leases alone, according to its annual filing, first reported on by Forbes. Dan Bilzerian, aka the king of Instagram, is the CEO and founder of Ignite International Brands, etc., which specializes in electronic cigarettes, cannabis, and several other products. Over the course of the last few months, worrisome reports have surfaced which hint at the company being hit by major financial issues, and according to a report by Forbes, Dan Bilzerian's Ignite lost a whopping $50 million last year. Indeed, Ignite appears to have footed the bill for Bilzerian's gun-toting, private jet-flying playboy lifestyle, paying him a salary as well as the travel expenses of other companies that he owns. Dan Bilzerian, however, seems to be dismissive of such rumors, courtesy of his recent tweet, in which he cited the example of Uber to draw a parallel and counter bankruptcy rumors about Ignite. Despite his dismissiveness, things don't seem to be looking up for the former U.S. Navy SEAL trainee turned venture capitalist as Ignite continues its steep fall from grace. Bilzerian runs the company Ignite International Brands Ltd., which, among other things, sells electronic cigarettes, CBD oils, water jugs, and vodka. Light is a public organization settled in Toronto, Canada, that started exchanging January 2019 under the Bilz F ticker. The company reportedly lost over $50 million in 2019, mostly on marketing and office rental expenses. Touch Off sells a wide scope of items from water containers and vodka to THC vape pens and CBD oils. Forbes cannabis columnist, in any case, composed that he has never experienced an item from Ignite in nature. Bilzerian's social media, specifically his Instagram page, is full of photographs of him on yachts, personal luxury planes, playing chess over piles of money, and in any event, presenting with an enormous weapon with the Ignite logo cut into its side. The organization, which started exchanging freely in Canada in January of 2019 and exchanges under the Bilz F ticker, has seen its stock worth fall in excess of 70% in the following 18 months to just 70 pennies. Bilzerian is no stranger to losing money. Page 6 reported last month that the 39-year-old entrepreneur recently lost a book deal with Simon & Schuster because he was too busy partying to deliver a manuscript. Ignite's monetary records were uncovered more than 2 months after the cutoff time. They finally released it in a way that nobody could find them. It's not on their website, which is just horrendous. I mean, what kind of public company doesn't put its own financials on its own website? That is unheard of. So they throw it in some website, which is really hard to get to. However, we found it, and we found some really interesting stuff. Based on the financials, the company in 2 weeks is going to be literally out of cash. Not balance sheet insolvency, not theoretical accounting insolvency, they are out of cash in exactly 14 days. Based on these financials, the company started the year with $15.1 million. It ended the second quarter with $5.8 million, meaning that it burned through $9 million in a span of 6 months. That means that it burns through $1.5 million every single month. Now, if you have $5.8 million on June 30th, it literally means that you have 4 months to live. That's it. From June 30th, you get 4 months till October 30th. They literally had zero growth from last year. A company that sells weed online during a pandemic, when everyone is stuck at home smoking weed, had 0% growth over 1 year. That is insane. We were told that Ignite is going to get healthier. They're going to fix a lot of these things. They're going to spend less. Their expenditures are the same. Their gross profit is abysmal, and their efficiency is in the toilet. It looks like Bilzerian burdens someone else with the bill, just as other successful businessmen prefer. Bilzerian owns at least a stake in other companies headquartered in Montana and Nevada, and according to public records, these also used Ignite as an ATM. Ignite cash went to pay salaries, licensing fees, business expenses, and travel expenses for companies that were owned by the CEO, according to the report. The amount of this Ignite decided to impart its investors and the holders of its obligation until the yearly report was delivered. Just the organization can say. But it is fair to declare that the company publicly said it was doing one thing, while it, or Dan Bilzerian, who can say, did another. We would seem to be income positive unquestionably in 2020, previous organization president Jim McCormick, a previous tobacco chief who turned to the cannabis area after 2016, told a questioner in May a year ago. We run the organization extremely lean and mean. Spoiler alert, they didn't. It seems like the cheerful boosterism contradicts the pessimism in the yearly report. Here, telling a passage of the company's directors who declare that in order to keep going, they will need even more of someone else's money, and that now is a very bad time to go begging. The company should bring capital up and request to finance its tasks and proceed with its current and forthcoming venture into vital business sectors. This need may be adversely impacted by uncertain capital market conditions, including those created by the COVID-19 pandemic, an inability to secure strategic partnerships in key markets, and an unfavorable perception of the Ignite brand, wrote the company's board of directors before warning investors that the whole thing might be ready to self-immolate. In spite of the fact that the company has been fruitful in the past in acquiring financing, there is no affirmation that it will have the option to get satisfactory financing later on, or that such financing will be on terms that are worthy to the company they proceeded. The uncertainty of the company's ability to achieve profitable operations and its success in raising additional capital funding may cast significant doubt on the company's ability to continue as a going concern. That same prognostication failure is imminent was also the analysis offered by the accounting firm that reviewed the company's books. All things considered, a portion of the cash Dan Bilzerian will use to keep Ignite afloat is additionally your cash. The company reported receiving just short of $1.2 million in Paycheck Protection Program loans from the Small Business Administration. Ignite intends on applying for loan forgiveness, the company said. Okay, an enormous marketing machine that didn't really sell anything, a brand that its own directors worry may be toxic, floated by debt and investors. Is that all there is behind Dan Bilzerian's company? We'll find out soon. While you are here, go ahead and click on one of these videos on your screen and we'll see you there.